I'm Mama D. We're about to go live. So if you'll just bear with me if you are on replay crew, I appreciate it. There we go. Hello, my beautifuls. Oh, wait, I gotta mute this. Okay, all right. Hello, Marie's Coloring. How are you, darling? I know it's a weird time for me to go live. I just figured we needed to talk a little bit because there's so much going on in true crime. Hi, Natural Healing. Hi, Pez. How are you, folks? Hi, Cat H. Yeah, we'll wait for some to come in. Um, so I'm going to try this because some people are like, well, I can't hear you when you do your readings. And so when I do my readings and I'm off screen, I wear this. Um, but it's hard for me to hear myself. But okay, I got on what I need to so y'all can hear me. I sound great. Thank you, Natural Healing. Yeah, I'm getting back in the swing of things. I'm starting to feel myself again, and that was major to go through the kind of medical stuff I did. But because I had so much healing energy given to me, I feel really good now. I hope you guys are doing good. Hi, Jenny. Hi, Wildfire. Hello, my beautiful. See my shirt? It's on for a reason. We're going to talk true crime. So, all right. How do we get to the beginning, right? Like, I went to the post office today, and the lady's like, oh, you do YouTube. What's your channel name? And I didn't even want to give it to her because I'm like, oh my God. She's probably not even into true crime. So she's like, oh, yeah, I love true crime. I'm like, oh, okay. I said, well, I'm currently working on the Idaho 4 case. And she goes, never heard of it. I'm like, oh, okay. I said, Kylie Rodney? And she's like, no. I'm like, Summer Wells? And she's like, no. I'm like, oh, what kind of stuff in true crime do you watch? And she said, well, it's old programs, I guess. I'm like, okay. You know? So I appreciate that you guys speak my language, that I don't have to do a whole like narrative every time I come on to talk about a case, that you just know what I'm talking about. And that's going to be really important when we jump back on the next live, because this is me not saying the name, but everybody's going to know that Frat brothers, there's two for sure that I am intentionally focused on to get the answers. So when I say Frat brothers and bushy eyebrows, I'll give you the initials now and you can apply them later. So it's DL. And you know, there was a story in the Bible about David and Goliath. I just leave it with you to do your little solving of that. You got me? Yeah. Yeah, she's not a true crime person. She's just into whatever. She's a sweet, sweet lady, but I was like, I didn't even know where to go with it. I told her that. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I I can't, because she was like, oh, what happened to these people? And I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. And I didn't even, so I just looked at her. I said, it's a big can of worms, you know. I can't just, they're gone. DL is a Dirty South nickname. Yeah. It's a dookie lover. Truly. Okay, y'all. A dookie in the South is poo, right? Poop. So we got into a fight, me and my sister, one time, and we weren't allowed to swear, and we were like 16. We were teenagers, but we were not allowed to swear in our home. And I got so mad at her. I couldn't come up with nothing. And I'm like, you're a dookie lover. So that just cracked me up, brought back a little memory. Yeah, she lives under a rock. No, y'all, she doesn't. You'd be surprised. We're like YouTube, online crime. We're like 1% of the world. That's the truth. I could go through my entire town. Nobody, nobody would know the name Kylie Rodney unless they've talked to me. And then they're like, okay, I've heard enough. You've told me everything you can imagine about the case. Hey, Pez, good to see ya. Yeah, Dirty South. I get it. I get it. I know, but you said DL is Dirty South nickname. So DL to me was Dookie Lover. So I might use that as his name in the reading. I don't know. Anyway, let's get serious for a minute. Let's get serious. You're with me, Natural Healing? I'm with you. I'm with you and Pez and Jenny and Wildfire and Nettie, everybody. I'm with everybody. So, y'all, for real. The fight did happen. We've heard it because of the fact that Xana talked to her dad and the fight happened. And that's all in my head now about the fight because this is somebody that is being accused of steroid use. And then we had this hours later, this brutal, absurd, vicious, over the top, like over the effing top, like seriously, what the duck attack on these individuals. There's blood running outside of the house. This person, I don't care who they are at this moment when I say this, I'm just saying, focus. They were enraged. They were enraged. No matter who you are, guilter, not guilter, Brian Kohlberger, blah, 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 blah. Everybody has to agree whoever did this was enraged. And the police went on and on about targeting. Well, that's quite obvious when you have survivors because it wasn't everybody that got killed. So obviously there's some targets. And out of the victims, 3 out of 4 may have been at that frat party. Well, 2 were for sure. But I've heard rumor, and this is from a good source, that Kaylee actually, or Maddie, I think it was Kaylee, had went with Xana and Ethan to the frat party where the fight broke out. Now, I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me. Nothing we talk about here is factual that you can go call the police and go, there's evidence being let over there on level of material by that lady in the duck shirt. But at the same time, we have four, and this is a fact, human beings. I say that because I don't know that they're male. Girls can be thin and have short hair, and it's pretty damn dark. 4 heads, 4 human being heads, running from the driveway of the home around the time frame of the initial narrative of the murders from 1122 King Road. We have 4. Where are they running? And they're not walking. They are booking ass. And they're running towards Sigma Chi. What? Not sure on Kaylee being there. Me either. But I've heard a lot of rumors that she was there for part of the night and that she saw the fight. And I've heard it from a couple people that I truly do trust. So they're like, oh no, she was. And I'm like, wow, I didn't know that. But I don't have any fact or proof. It's just my own personal belief that that's most likely true. Then, if that was true, or it could have been Maddie, one of the girls, is what I was told. Okay, so let's go back to the part where somebody, the girls and somebody, Jack Showalters, who I personally think it is, are leaving the corner bar. They're walking to the grub truck. Maddie, what did you tell Adam? Oh, I told Adam everything. Okay, what? About the fight? Was it about the fight? Was it Maddie that went with them? We'll find out what happened because we're going to do a reading tonight about Xana and Ethan in their evening before the murder. We still don't know the true story, but we do know there was a fight because Xana told her dad about it and he told her mother about it and her mother brought it up and has concerns. And why isn't that being investigated? Why are they able to be filmed and photographed in their Frat brother uniforms with the exact type of weapon that the police are claiming killed these people, and they didn't confiscate all of them and put all those knives in account and be like, okay, we need 10 of them. Where are they? Let's get them into DNA testing. Make sure this wasn't some school rivalry bullshit. These are popular people. They held the parties. They were the party house. Wildfire makes a great point. Rage attacks are common in steroid use. Yes. Yes. In the Darlie Routier case, which I've covered pretty in depth in the little bit I did, because I know it really, really good, but I've never brought it to you guys. But I still am a big researcher of that case behind the scenes, not in the public eye. Darren, her husband, was suspected of using steroids because he had gotten so many awards for weightlifting, all kinds of stuff, and it comes from very good source that he was on steroids. And then Darlie's throat is cut, and his two sons are brutally stabbed to death. Darlie survived through surgery and the grace of God because there was an eighth of an inch between her skin and her carotid artery, and her throat was slit from side to side. But people think she killed the boys and then slit her own throat and then lied about it all, when Darren's the one that took out life insurance on everyone, including Darlie. What? Anyway, I want to get into talking about Richard Allen a little bit and the Delphi case and where we're sitting with that. There's a YouTube creator that is doing an amazing job going over this case from the very beginning at 1111. Who is that? She is a professional. Oh, well, very cool. Rachel, okay, yeah. So let's play this out for a minute. Let's play this out. So let's say the fight takes place at the Sigma Chi award dinner or whatever they were doing that night. A fight breaks out between Ethan and Dirty South, right? You know who I'm talking about? Dirty South. Okay. So the fight breaks out between him and do you think Xana might have stood up for Ethan? Or do you think she's the kind of person that would have been like, oh, I'm not part of this. I'm going to put my hands down in my lap and be a lady and just ignore the ongoings? I don't think so. Xana was a fighter. It's come from her family. Xana was spunky. You can tell in the little videos that they did before they were murdered that she had spunk. And it wouldn't be far fetched. I don't think I'm reaching across the whole world here to be like, yeah, she would probably back Ethan. Okay. So we've got to have somebody familiar with the home inside and out. Why? Because there's no DNA of them. There's zero DNA in the whole damn house. I am amazed. I am absolutely floored how good these girls and could clean this house. Party all the time with all those people, but there's no DNA. What? Hey, Paz. Okay, Marie has heard the rumor that Xana was in Fight Club. I don't know. I don't know if there is a Fight Club, but it does exist. And there are people obsessed with Fight Club. They that is the truth. Right, Pez. Xana wasn't a coward. She wasn't gonna be afraid to stick up for herself. Okay, that's something to really ponder. Natural Healing says she believes Xana and Ethan were unalived at a different location and brought back to the home then staged, in her opinion. I personally, knowing the fact that after a person is no longer alive, that the blood flow is completely different. It doesn't freely flow. It kind of with the amount of blood that was coming outside the home, I kind of think a murder took place in that room, in my personal opinion. But you could be right. Nobody knows. No one knows. Linda Lane. Um, Linda Lane has people that make me wonder if you look back at the 3 o'clock time frame. Deception dismantled. Welcome to Starlight Buds, my lovely. Appreciate that. So if you look at the Linda Lane footage, right? It has movement of people, including someone sitting in the car, including someone running to the building, running to the building, or running back. I can't remember which. They're running. It also shows somebody with longer hair getting in the back seat, kind of like making you feel or believe that the front seat is either reserved, taken, or there's stuff there. So if that's real, if that is real, again, that right there really leads me to believe that that could be Dirty South and his watchouts, his. See, I think it's two. I do, and I think there's more than two. I feel two different knives, same type of weapon, maybe, or different. Maybe one was a machete, one was a knife. That would explain the wounds. But I just, if 911 had been called during the murder, while it or instantly after, I wouldn't suspect two killers. See, in my personal opinion, and that's all I offer, the people that were going to do this knew it would happen so quickly that it couldn't trigger a 911 call. So that would mean logically that the attack upstairs and the attack downstairs would have to happen at the same fucking time. Sorry. Okay? At the same time. That would mean that it happened so quick that there wouldn't be time for all this 911 call. But a lone perpetrator would have no guarantee that while they're doing the crime wherever they are, hello, 911, I have an intruder in the house. I left already. And that's the other thing. If the two girls really, really, DM and BF, knew that these murders were going to take place, if they didn't do them, if they weren't part of the murders, then in my personal opinion, they wouldn't have been in the home if they knew. If you knew, if you had been threatened and been told, you will be murdered if you step out of your room, you think I'm going to go to that damn house? Personally, I'm going to go out of the fucking state. I'm going to use cash the whole way. And as soon as I can get to a payphone or get a burner phone, I'm calling 911 to report all that shit to try to prevent it. That's just me, though. Deception dismantled. Say, more than one person. If not, did they stand in line and wait on one person to harm them? Face it. Both murders either had to be taken place when nobody's home and these two are home and they're alone. That's the only way I could see it be one perp. Is that the first victims are killed, like Xana and Ethan, first, before anybody got home. Nobody got home. The perp hides, maybe in a spare bedroom, waits for everybody to get home, and then goes and gets a second set of targets. It's the only way I could see it being one person, but I don't feel that. I truly feel this all happened between 2:52 and 3:30, maybe even 3:45. I feel like the perpetrators came into the home and they went different directions, committed each a crime to hold against the other so neither could talk, right? And then left the home in a run with two other people that were watching the front and the back of the house. And I think there's maybe even a fifth driver. And Kohlberger could have been hired as an Uber. We've talked about Uber, right? We've all talked about Uber. Oh, the girls got an Uber from the grub truck home. No, they got a private driver. He checks out according to the police. But then so did Jack Showalter, the day after the crime. Whatever. But what if Brian was an Uber, or there was just an Uber? You have no idea why you're driving these people. You got called on a business call. You go pick up your clients. You wait in the damn parking lot, because they said, we're going to pay you for the whole time. Don't leave. We don't want to have to get another Uber. Okay? We'll pay you good. Here's $400. All right? Crime gets committed by these individuals. They get back in the fucking car. They're covered in blood. What are you going to do as an Uber? You now are a suspect. Your car is covered in blood. How are you going to prove you weren't part of the crime? Especially if you happen to go to school with someone that did the crime and you have an acquaintance or you know one of them. You don't know a crime's going to happen. That could have happened too. That could be the Linda Lane footage for all we know. Yeah, Marie's right. Like I'm saying this whole time, we have 4 people. I've been saying it, literally running from the home down the driveway of 1122 Queen Road, whatever, on the cops' cam. Now, Natural Healing thinks they got into what appears to be a red car. Hi, Marie Wallace says it was Bethany that we are to the frat party with Ethan and Santa. I have heard differently. I have heard it was I heard it was Maddie or Kaylee, and I can't remember which they told me. But yeah. So let's pretend that this happened that way. Okay? Let's pretend for a minute that yes, these frat brothers were pissed off. They were reacting while on steroids and whatever they mixed. They went to the home. They committed the crime. Not only would they know the place inside and out, the school would most likely, in my opinion, be saying to the cops, and remember, the cops get their money from the school basically being in existence. Don't let this come back to the college. Do not allow this murder to come back onto this college. I don't care what you got to do. I don't care who you got to grab. But don't let it fall on our doorstep. And that, I believe, was actually probably said. That protects the frat boys. And who is that college? Sigma Chi. But that's my imagination. Everything I say here is my favorite adopted little guy there, who's grown huge and got awards and is now famous. Drip Drop from Crime Circus. I'm so proud of him. He's amazing, by the way. He does a good job. And there you have it. There you have it in a nutshell. Everything you would need to get to where we are now, where nothing is making sense, that points to Brian and says, I can put him in the house. No, you can't. You can't. As Harsh Reality said, and hats off to you, sir. What if that knife sheath came from one of the knives that the Frat brothers had, that true people going to school for criminology may have had passed around the room to look at and inspect and pass it. And then the killer takes off all the DNA, but not around the button snap, because he's not in that kind of college. He's in the I kill for fun college that nobody else belongs to but him and one other guy. What? I mean, you could mix up a Molotov cocktail, but really, why would you do that when you look over there and you've got these guys that are running around with masks on, big fat lips, monkey lips, and they're scaring people on doorbell cams. There's people skinning dogs. This is not a normal thing for a town at all on any level. Why are they in their frat outfits holding the same weapon in a stabbing motion, and that's not looked at as suspicious? When you team that up with maybe there was a fight, well, there was a fight between one of the victims and one of these guys that is holding the knife. No. No. There was not DNA from Brian at all. On what? The knife sheath? Well, the prosecution claims it, but they're not going to produce it. So you might be right on that one. A lot of, money talks. But you know what? Bullshit ain't going to hold up in court. Xana's dad also talked to Xana at midnight, and Xana and Ethan were eating pizza. So why a couple hours later order DoorDash? I don't think they would. I think Xana's phone was used to order DoorDash to obscure the timeline into and really mess things up, huh? Hi, Kier Elementary. Hello, beautiful. Okay. Xana's dad told her mother that Bethany was also at the frat party with Ethan and Xana. Matt and Kaylee were together all night and not at any parties, says Marie. Okay. My source could be wrong then, but that is what I've heard, and I'm not going to change it just because one person tells me it and the other person told me something too. And it's from several people that have told me that the two girls had been apart for a few minutes there, and one went to this thing with Xana. So I'm not 100% sure who to believe. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm just saying I'm going to leave it open for people to draw their own conclusion. Natural healing, you don't need to steal someone's card to order DoorDash. Okay, I know this for a fact. So it stores my info. Like if I wanted to, if I'm going to be ordering DoorDash frequently, I can just hit go and my order automatically processes. I don't have to get a card and upload my number or give them any of my info after that initial time if I put save, you know. But then who put the DoorDash on the counter? The killer, maybe. Or one of the girls. Maybe Bethany, maybe Dylan. Weren't both girls caught on camera in the bar? You guys, I'm not saying they were apart all night. Okay? So if they did go to stop in and say hi and this fight was going on and she left right away, they can still go to the bar. They can still go to the grub truck. They can still be together the entire night. Hell, one of them could have been sitting in the car and the other one got out and ran in to say something to Xana about something for later. I don't know. I didn't ask. I'm just saying several sources have told me a long time ago, when this case first started, that it was either Maddie or Kaylee had stopped in where Xana and Ethan were. A fight had broke out. I didn't even know who Dirty South was. There was no 4chan post, none of that. So none of this was worth me talking about, I guess. Excuse me. But that it made more sense to me than when I heard Maddie, what did you tell Adam? And I thought, it was probably about the 4chan fight, about Dirty South and Ethan. Just spit everywhere. Kaylee came back to school that weekend to show her friend her new Range Rover. Right, Pez. That doesn't discredit the whole night. What if she wanted to, talk to Xana for 2 minutes? I don't know. I'm not going to justify it. I'm not saying it even happened. Y'all, stop. I'm saying I was told that. Okay? I'm not saying That is what happened. I'm not saying none of that. And I'm not going to get into well, somebody told me this and somebody told me, no, I'm done. I don't do drama. I'm not gonna. Nope. Hi, day by day. Shanna, 10 months. I think you've been longer, but I think you rejoined. But 10 months as a Starlight Seed. Thank you, beautiful. Oh, Pez says my comment was for a response in chat. Well, Pez, you can get like that with me too if you want to. Even if you weren't, you could. And I still love you and you still love me. So we don't, you know what I'm saying. Oh, it was for Marie? You hear what I'm saying, y'all. But my point being this. Why is it not being investigated? Is it because of that whole school thing? But let's get ready to do the reading, y'all. We're going to do the reading on none other than Dirty South and his BF, his accomplice, if he had one. But what we're really going to do here is we're going to pull the cards for Xana and Ethan. And I want to see between their energy before the murder took place, what cards fall between Dirty South and Ethan and Xana. I want to see what cards kind of fall down the middle. But before they fall, I want to understand the circumstance. I want to understand the blockage, the root cause for this whole fight. This whole damn fight with the Frat brother. There was a couple, I guess. Because it's 4chan right? Or are they blowing smoke up our butt? Not sure. Oh, Shannon had foot surgery. Well, I hope you're doing good and recovering well. Okay. You're not a dork. 4chan. All right. So you have to go back about 6 months ago, maybe 9 months. And on Reddit, which is a different platform, a social platform, there is a 4chan post, meaning that was the title or the poster or whatever. And that story is all about this fight that allegedly took place between Ethan and Xana and this guy named, we'll say, Dirty South. I can't say his name for legal purposes. This fight accused Dirty South of doing steroids that shrunk his testicles. Only it wasn't said like medical. It was like really nasty. And supposedly there was a fight and he was humiliated by Ethan, who called him out and basically said the reason your balls are shriveled up is because you do steroids. And it got all ugly. And then Ethan and Xana and Maddie and Kaylee were all murdered that night. So we all were like, wait a minute, who's this? Who are these people? So a lot of us dug into these people's background. And when we do, what? Why are they not suspects? There you go. Marie helped everybody out in chat. I can't, so I appreciate you. All right, my lovelies. With that, I want to let you know I still have my private reading to go. I still have to give that. I believe it was to Lorna. I can't remember. I'll have to look. She emailed me her questions. But all of our beautiful Halloween giveaways have been shipped out today. And I can't wait to hear. I wrapped each little thing in bubble wrap to make sure that everything gets there. And it's every box. I could literally barely close it. So I can't wait to hear back from you guys. Make sure and let us know what you got, what you like, all that. That is from your 1111 family. So I hope you love it all. All right, my lovelies. With that, thank you. Thank you for being members. I appreciate you. We did not get to talk about Delphi. So Wednesday, let's say it's Friday, Wednesday, I'll come back and we're going to be talking about Delphi, Indiana, Richard Allen. He loses his lawyers, then he gets his lawyers back pro bono, and now the judge is being reviewed by the circuit court, and their demand or not circuit court. What am I saying? Oh shit, I can't remember the name. The big court, grand jury. I don't know. I can't remember anymore. This judge is being called out and being ordered to produce. So we're going to be digging into that on Wednesday. It is definitely a case that is breaking my heart because it's bad enough when you have two victims that are children, but to add to it that we may have a third victim in the fact that they've taken Richard Allen and he may very well be innocent, which would mean that the real killer still out there. Just saying. That could be true here in the Idaho 4. Has anybody ever thought about that? You ever think about that? That if Brian Kohlberger didn't do this, that we're back to square one and the killer is laughing their ass off because they got away with it? Are you kidding me? All right. I will see you when we do our reading together. I love you. I truly do. And as members, I appreciate greatly. As subscribers, if you're on replay, I love you too. And replay crew, you guys rock. You all combine to keep this channel alive. And I thought about walking away because I get pissed off about true crime. And I don't want to bring that to my family. And so thank God I have you guys, because I always lie to myself. I'm always like, I'm going to get off true crime. I'm not going to study any cases. I'm going to have an innocent thought. Like, I'm not going to have a day filled of whatever negative bullshit about what somebody did to somebody. None of that. And then I disconnect from my online family for a little bit. But I don't give up on the true crime. I'm still watching everything. So then I'm like, thank God I got my true crime family. I can go talk to them because it is an emotional roller coaster. And if you don't get affected by some of these cases, I don't know how you do it. That's all I got to say. I don't know how you do it. I get affected. Like, I mentally want to know who the killer is so I can, like, thrash them. Like, I want to stare in their face and be like, we know what you did, you nasty effer. That's what I want to do. And I want to have a whip. And every once in a while, I just want to whip them. I don't want to die. I just want to keep whipping them. The real killer. I just want to whip him. Like, every time I get mad. Oh, I broke a dish. His whole life. I know that sounds crazy, but that's what comes through my head because I get so frustrated. So, for the fact that you guys always stay with me during the highs, the lows, the mediums, you matter. And I greatly appreciate you. I'm thankful. Thank you, my beautifuls. Bye for now. I'll see you in like 18 minutes. And this should be interesting because I damn sure know that last time we did a reading on Dirty South, that was real. That really showed me some stuff. So what's going to come out this time? I don't know. We'll have to wait and find out. I love you. To the moon and back. God bless you, my beautifuls. Bye for now.